and welcome to National Focus. I'm Aliyah Martin. In the headlines, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit calls for urgent review of regional education systems in efforts to combat crime. Rotary Club of Dominica donates $10,000 to President's Charities Foundation. And oxygen plant training to enhance service at Dominica China Friendship Hospital. The details of the headline stories and more when we return. Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and other CARICOM heads of government have wrapped up a two-day regional symposium on violence as a public health issue, the crime challenge, in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. The symposium brought together CARICOM heads of government, crime and violence experts and public health officials to discuss strategies to combat the concerning crime situation in the region. Prime Minister Skerrit has called for a dramatic and urgent review of the education system in the region as part of efforts to combat crime. He called for the focus to be placed on all aspects of education and not only academic development.
We moved from 7 subjects at CXC and GC to now 15 and 18 per student. The same 5 hours, it has been increased, but we've increased the number of subjects being offered to our students. Sports and physical education have taken second place. Extracurricular activities in the classroom no longer exist. And yes, we boast of the percentage of passes at CXC examinations or national exams, but we fail to pay attention to the 20 and the 30% of those who did not get to the matriculation level. And I think we are focusing on those who do well academically, but we fail to pay attention to the mental and emotional state of our children.
The Dominican leader stated that focusing on all aspects of education will dry up the source of recruits to crime and violence.
The 20 and 30 and 40% of the young people who are not academically successful and who we define as failures in the society. And with the advent of climate change and the impact on agriculture, the impact on tourism, that too is creating a very difficult understanding for many young people in terms of what the future really will look like, taking into consideration their present circumstance. So education reform, focusing more on the welfare and well-being of that creature we call a student, and less on exams, because we have more opportunities now for children. We have many more opportunities now than we had in the 70s and 60s for our children, for us to focus less on the rigors of examinations.
Prime Minister Skerrit called on civil society and non-governmental organizations to play their part in the development of our children. President of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Savre, says a financial donation from the Dominica Rotary Club to the President's Charities Foundation will assist the organization in its resumption of some of its programs, which has to be shelved due to the COVID-19 pandemic. On Tuesday, the 18th of April 2023, Opposition Senator the Honorable Delbert Paris, who is acting assistant governor of the Rotary Club, presented a check for $10,000 to His Excellency Charles Savre during a brief ceremony at the State House. Mr. Paris says every sitting president in Dominica is a patron of the Rotary Club. He says the donation is a sign of respect and appreciation for continuous support that the President's office has continued to give to the Rotary Club.
That is why today I'm here representing the Rotary Club of Dominica, because for 48 years, business leaders and community leaders around Dominica have held fast to these principles in coming together as one unit to provide the same type of support that the President's Charity is supporting, and the President's Charity continues to support over and over. The way that we're able to do that is through service, members of the business community and the leadership community coming together, pooling resources, providing hands-on service, also by raising funds But one of the key things that we also do is to partner with organizations like the President's Charity to accomplish the same goals. If the wheel is already rolling and it's in motion, why not add some support to it to accomplish the same goals?
Mr. Paris says the Rotary Club's intention is to help as many disadvantaged children as possible to benefit from the President's Charities Foundation summer program.
So today I'm very happy that we are able, from the fundraising and the service that we have been doing, to be able to present the President's Charity with a small donation, a small contribution of $10,000 from the Rotary Club of Dominica. And of course, it will go to several different things, but one of the things that we want to point out that we are keen to supporting is the summer schools program that we know is coming up this year. And we're really happy to come on board this year in supporting that summer school program as the Rotary Club of Dominica to ensure that, particularly for some of our disadvantaged children in and around Dominica, that they can benefit from the summer schools program.
His Excellency Charles Savre said his Charities Foundation has had very good relations with service clubs, particularly the Rotary Club of Dominica.
The donation of $10,000 to the work of the foundation is most welcome. We are a voluntary organization, as you are, and we seek to support charitable causes. We have 16, 17, 18 charities that we support as a result of the fundraising that we do on an annual basis. And similarly, on an annual basis, we distribute to these charities.
The President's Charities Foundation recently started a summer school program.
It is held in Roseau. Roseau is the largest catchment area, and it is not widely known, but we perhaps have the largest pool of disadvantaged persons in the country in and around Roseau. As a person who's lived in Roseau for all of my adult life, I should say from the time I entered secondary school, I know of pockets of poverty we refer to as couloirs, where persons live under very difficult circumstances.
His Excellency says the Rotary Club's donation will make it easier for the Charities Foundation to host its various activities, such as the summer school program, which was suspended due to COVID-19.
So we are looking forward to doing this summer school this year, and we're extremely happy that the Rotary Club has once more, because this is not the first time that the Rotary Club is supporting our activities, but we are very happy that you've come on board once more in this tangible way.
The Rotary Club of Dominica will celebrate 48 years in existence this year. Rotary International boasts of approximately 1.4 million members and 46,000 clubs around the world. The organization's main area of focus is to promote peace, fight diseases, provide clean water, sanitation and hygiene, support education, grow and support local economies, and protect the environment. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services has partnered with Build Health International, a non-profit organization, to facilitate a 2-day training for the oxygen plant operators at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, DCFH. The training ran from 14 to 15 of April 2023. The training session was hosted to further develop the capacity to manage and repair the oxygen tanks and high-pressure compressor systems. Director of Engineering at the DCFH, Mrs. Nicole Laville, expressed gratitude to Build Health International for their assistance.
At the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, we have a PSA oxygen plant that generates oxygen and provides medical oxygen for the needs of our patients at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. So this means that the hospital is self-sufficient in providing oxygen for our patients. So once again, we are grateful to Build Health International for providing this training for our technicians so that we can continue to maintain the equipment that provides, that feeds the oxygen for our patients and to supply oxygen for the hospital.
In 2022, Build Health International, along with Direct Relief, visited Dominica to undertake a complete servicing of the plant, which was severely impacted by Hurricane Maria in 2017.
Since COVID-19, we've been doing a lot of work with supporting and maintaining PSA plants as well as oxygen bottling. So I'm here working on doing repairing and training how to repair the RIX 2B3B, which bottles oxygen here.
Oxygen plant supervisor at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, Mr. Kasani Bope, says the training will assist in the effective operations of the department and the maintenance of the equipment.
The training is giving us a lot of know-how to how to repair the machine and insight into it, for what I can see so far. Build Health has helped us so far in the past a lot, because that is the second time they're sending a team to the hospital to help the machine, keep the oxygen plant running, for what I have seen so far. And I cannot complain, because we have been trying our best to make sure that the hospital supply oxygen.
Oxygen plants are industrial systems designed to generate oxygen. They typically use air as a feedstock and separate it from other components of air using pressure swing absorption or membrane separation techniques. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services continues to improve the quality of service at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. Minister for Energy, the Honorable Dr. Vince Henderson, says Dominica is expected to conclude contract negotiations for the construction of the island's first geothermal power plant over the next few weeks. As of Monday, 17 April 2023, the Dominica Geothermal Development Company already had in place 2 production wells and 1 reinjection well at Loda. The minister says that the Dominica Geothermal Development Company has been in active negotiations with a developer for the geothermal power plant.
I don't want to give time frames because you know the challenges of negotiation. You never know what you will meet, except to say that we have made great progress so far, and we expect to move very quickly to the actual construction of the power plant. The next step has to be to fully maximize the potential here and to start talking about the export of power. So first, shutting down every diesel generator in Dominica, taking the grind of making the investment for transmission lines all the way to the north of Dominica, being able to power our new international airport, being able to power the new hotels that are being built on the west coast and we expect in the northeast. We have to be determined as a country that this is one of the most important projects of our time, and we have to push it for the future generations of Dominicans.
Dr. Henderson believes the possibilities of transitioning from fossil fuels to geothermal energy will have significant economic benefits for Dominica.
We are prepared to move forward, to look at the expansion of this project so that we can start exporting power, producing green hydrogen and ammonia. There are countries that are producing with solar power. We have the great fortune of having geothermal potential that could allow us to create an entire new industry with the generation of hydrogen, production of hydrogen and ammonia. So we have to be prepared as a country to look at our development, and this could be the basis of a green revolution in Dominica, building industries on cheap, clean and reliable power. And these are the key things that you need to really help to industrialize a country to move so that we can develop.
Dr. Henderson acknowledged the hard work of Mr. Fred John and his team at the Dominica Geothermal Development Company for their efforts.
We are very excited about where we are today, and I want to thank Fred John and his team at the Dominica Geothermal Development Company. Mr. Elwa, you're not young again. I used to call you young Elwa, but I wouldn't call you that. Right now, you're an expert. You're one of the few people in the region who have had the great fortune of being part of drilling so many wells. And you have become, and you will soon be, an expert that we can provide to the region as well. I'm very, very pleased and very proud of the work that you're doing. And you have good leadership in Fred John at the Dominica Geothermal Development Company, a gentleman who has taken the decision to remain home just to be part of this movement, and I'm very happy for that.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Chef de mission for the Dominica delegation at the 2023 Alba Games, Mr. Yudi John, is confident of the Dominican athletes' ability to bring home medals at the 5th edition of the Alba Games. A delegation of over 100 athletes and officials landed in Venezuela on Monday as Dominica prepares to participate in its first ever Alba Games. Mr. John says the participation of Dominica in the 2023 Alba Games is an indication of the strong spirit of friendship between the two countries.
We are indeed happy to be here in Dominica, to be here in Venezuela to participate in this, the 5th Alba Games. We would like to express our gratitude in a very profound way by going out there and participate as best as we can, and to make our countries proud and to show that there's a true spirit of friendship and solidarity between the Venezuelan people and that of the Dominican people. As it relates to our expectations, we expect to go out there and compete well and win medals that we get to win the games that we get to win. But more importantly, to develop the relationship by the other members of the Alba bloc, and to let the world know that the Alba bloc is as important as any other bloc that exists in the world today.
Mr. John expects medals in 3 main events, adding that he also expects all athletes to perform well.
One of the top cyclists in the Caribbean is a young cyclist by the name of Ajinari Kazimi. I think he's one of the persons that will make Dominica truly proud. And we also have Addison James, who recently received the gold medal at the recently concluded Carifta Games in track and field. So these two areas are two areas we expect Dominica to do very well. The one other medal that we are really expecting to receive is that in boxing. One of our best boxers, who will be the flag bearer for Team Dominica during the opening ceremony. His name is Delroy John Charles. We are expecting a medal for him to go there and do us proud. But the Dominican people, by just being here, it's already a gold medal, and we want to continue to express our gratitude for being at the 5th Alba Games.
11 countries will be participating at the Games, which will bring over 3,000 athletes together over the next 2 weeks. The countries are Cuba, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Russia, and the host country, Venezuela. The Games will feature a total of 35 sports disciplines, with Dominica being presented in 11. The countdown is on for the 12th edition of the Jazz and Creole Festival. The lineup for this year's celebration will include Black Violin from Fort Lauderdale, Felicia Ross, Dominica's very own Signal Band, Swinging Stars, and the Island Jazz Collective featuring Josie Pavola. A number of fringe events will be hosted to complement the main stage celebrations beginning Sunday, April 23. Some of the fringe events will include Jazz and Cocktail, Jazz on the Beach, Jazz and Tea, Hats and Hills, Jazz by the Shoreline, Jazz and Cocktails, and Sunset Serenades. The anticipated festival is expected to take a creative twist with the inclusion of the Kids Zone, this year a fashion segment, as well as the ultimate VIP experience with HHV Whitchurch. Festivals and Events Manager Ms. Natalie Wald says preparations are ongoing to ensure the main stage event is made memorable for all patrons.
We are ready here at DFC. Everything is in place. We have Adam Sounds already on site, putting everything together for us in terms of our stage, our lights, sounds. Our partners are ready. The tents are being built. The booths are being built. We have our vendors, over 12 vendors ready to serve cocktails and different drinks at Jazz. We have our cuisine vendors. We have our kids zone, getting ready with the bouncy castle and the face painting and so many other great activities at Jazz this year.
Mrs. Natalie Walsh is confident that this year's Jazz and Creole Festival will be the driving experience to welcome more patrons next year.
We will ensure that everything is in place for us to give you an experience of a lifetime. An experience where next year, around that time, you will already have your ticket months in advance. An experience where next year, months in advance, our partners will be calling us and we will not be calling them. Our partners will be saying, Natalie, I want to sponsor. Natalie, I'm going to sponsor for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years for Jazz and Creole and many other activities on the calendar for DFC. So again, invite your friends, invite your relatives, call your friends and your relatives from the French islands, Guadeloupe, Martinique. We want you to be here with us. Come celebrate jazz with us. We want you to come from St. Lucia. Why not? We want you to come from Antigua. Come to Dominica, enjoy our destination. You know, bundle up, not just jazz. We want you to come to Portsmouth.
The concept of the celebration this year is Welcome to Portsmouth, the land of jazz and Creole. The main stage event will be hosted on April 30 from 2 p.m. at Fort Shirley in Portsmouth. Minister for the Environment, Honorable Jose Frederick, has called on the public to play their part in safekeeping the environment by disposing of their garbage properly. He made that statement while addressing a handing-over ceremony held on Friday, April 14, where the European Union donated a new excavator to the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation in a bid to improve the corporation's duties. Minister Frederick stated that if citizens were to separate their waste, it will reduce the amount of garbage being transported to the landfill.
It's also a call to the Dominican public. We do have an asset in the Dominica Solid Waste Corporation, and we all have to play our part in doing simple things. We have a project in the Carnago space called the Carnago Zero Waste Project. It basically is targeting at separating the waste at the source. And if we do it in a timely manner, we are diligent about it, we're well able to limit what is being tipped out here at the landfill. I want to thank again the NU's office, because it was only about a month ago you handed over a tipper truck to the corporation. So now we have a wonderful excavator here, and we're talking about $500,000. And that's a significant investment in a corporation. And with the tipper truck, you can well imagine the works have been happening across the space.
He noted the excavator, which is approximately $500,000, will assist the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation in carrying out their work more efficiently.
We have been taking care of the garbage situation in the city of Roseau and the environment and the environs. So we are really elated to have that investment, and it's really and truly is a historical event today, because first time ever we have a sitting excavator on site, and we do have and just to say to listen public and the NS office that we do have expertise on staff who can manage this equipment and who can also maintain it. So we are going to see a lot of savings as it relates to managing this.
The minister added that by doing their part, the public will assist in reducing the cost it takes to carry out the duties of the Solid Waste Management Corporation.
The commitment from the communities, from the country, from residents, is something where we have to look at very carefully, because you're well aware that no one really pays for garbage collection, but everyone wants it to be done in a timely manner. So it's a call to the public to play a part and to see how we can work with the corporation to ensure that we save costs. And so it's no little investment to have a piece of equipment like this. And you can well imagine, like I said, the issues we would have when the landfill at various points during the year can become clogged up, and we're unable to move materials around.
Minister Frederick thanked the European Union and the NAO for their continued assistance in the overall development of Dominica.
I want to say thank you very much on behalf of the government of Dominica, and to say a special welcome to you, Miss Roberts. It was only two days ago we had a mission in the Carnago space, and so the government have a wonderful relationship through the NAO with the European Union, and it's something that we have to magnify, we have to speak about, because it's important. It's not only what we do here today in terms of giving a wonderful piece of equipment to the Solid Management Corporation, but with all of the other works that we have been doing over the years. And in the Carnago space, for instance, we've been doing the housing project. More than 50 homes we built on resilient standards, and resilience is the way we're doing business in Dominica. And so we're really thankful for the European Union intervention in our development. And so I really want to thank the NU office for that.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and the Blue and Green Economy has hosted a stakeholder engagement on the Waitikobuli National Trail Segment 1. The engagement took place on Monday morning at Rodney's Wellness Retreat in Soufriere. The Stakeholder Engagement Plan, SEP, is a requirement for the Global Environmental Facility, leveraging ecotourism project for biodiversity protection in Dominica. The goal of this SEP is to enhance social and environmental sustainability of the project by improving and facilitating decision-making and creating an atmosphere of understanding that actively involves project-affected people and other stakeholders in a timely manner, and that these groups are provided sufficient opportunity to voice their concerns and concerns that may influence the project's decisions from an early stage. In this regard, residents of the Soufriere constituency were informed of plans for the rehabilitation of Segment 1 of the Waitikobuli National Trail. The rehabilitation of the trail will allow for easier access to the site, increase the quality and value of the hike, as well as to create employment opportunities for people in that area.
In any World Bank project, there are certain criteria you must follow. Okay? And one of them being is doing a risk assessment to assess all the environmental and social risks of that project and to put in place mitigation measures to reduce the impacts of those risks. Now, even though you consider just repairing the trail might not have much significant risk, but it must be documented just in case something goes wrong. It's just like insurance, okay? Now, one of those documents that must be prepared for that is what you call the Environmental and Social Management Plan. For short, we call it ESMPs, which identify all the risks of the project and then put in mitigation measures to reduce those risks.
Mr. McIntyre says full support is needed for the communities in order to fulfill the requirements of the Stakeholder Engagement Plan.
This is important because it provides an open and transparent engagement between the community and the project. And this is an essential part of good international practice. Okay? It also improves social and environmental sustainability of the trail rehabilitation works. It enhances the project acceptance. That means you're going to accept the project in your community. That's critical. You don't want people just coming and bringing loads of tariffs and loads of materials there and you don't know what's happening. This is what we call early stakeholder engagement. And this is critical to get your input into the program.
New amenities will be put in place to enhance the site. Mr. McIntyre highlighted some of the areas to be developed during the rehabilitation process.
Certain areas need expansion, okay? So tourists can have easier access. You have to clear the bushes. You have to place certain rocks or logs in certain areas to increase traction so that tourists or travelers will not slip and fall. We're building steps, providing drainage to control or to reduce erosion. We'll be building infrastructures and different amenities, benches, tables, viewing platforms, picnic areas. So all this we'll be building along the National Trail, okay? We'll have directional signs, trail markings on trees or rocks, and other permanent features.
Consultation meetings will be recorded and documented by the PIU to capture comments from participating stakeholders. The Leveraging Ecotourism for Biodiversity Protection project aims to coordinate and improve the government's intersectoral approach towards more effective planning and management of protected areas and forest ecosystems. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Aliyah Martin. Thanks for watching.